Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making some crisp and light meringue cookies. So let's get started. First off, set your oven to 200 degrees so it is nice and warm. And now we're gonna separate 4 egg whites. 2 bowls, please. We wanna check as we're going along because we don't want any shells and we don't want any yolks. You can save the yolks for later. You can use them to make a delicious custard if you'd like. I'm using my stand mixer for this recipe, and I triple checked the bowl was really clean. I even wiped it down with a little bit of vinegar because I want no fat here. Fat is the enemy. Any fat from either the yolk or some greasy nonsense left over in your bowl is going to give you a less fluffy, marshmallowy meringue, and I want these cookies to be as good as possible. Okay. Meringue is actually named after a small town in Switzerland, Meringen. I'm probably not saying that right, but it's where a chef named Gasparini invented meringue in the 17th century. Like many other desserts, this was perfected by the French, and there are now so many different kinds of meringue: Italian, Swiss, and French. Today we're making a French meringue, which is the most basic and versatile, I think. But for this recipe, it'll be perfect. Grab a whisk, and by the way, if you like my videos, hit that subscribe button. There's 2 new recipes every single week. I want my egg whites to be really stabilized, and for that, I need an acid. A 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. This is a byproduct of the winemaking process. If you don't have this specific ingredient, you could use a 1/4 teaspoon of white vinegar or lemon juice too. For a little contrast, a generous pinch of salt. Start mixing on low, gradually increasing to medium. We're gonna froth these egg whites up before we add the sugar in. When you're making meringues, there's a very important thing, and that is the sugar. The sugar can make or break your recipe. We're using 1 cup or 200 grams of granulated sugar, but not all brands of granulated sugar are the same. Here, I'm gonna sift this out and show you some nonsense. Do you see all these? It might be hard to tell, but these are giant rocks of sugar here, and they would never dissolve. You could run your mixer for 20 minutes, hoping and hoping to get a less gritty meringue, but it's not gonna happen. What would happen is you would over-mix your meringue, and when they bake, they end up being cracked like this. And here you can see on this batch that I made with sugar that wasn't sifted, still grainy on top. You can actually see the little grains of sugar. And I mixed this for 20 minutes. And because of that, it got overbeaten, still not the right texture. You can solve this by sifting your sugar. And if it looks on the coarser side, just pulse it in your food processor, or if there's any doubt, go ahead and use superfine sugar. The main point is that you just don't want to have these giant rocks of sugar. They're not going to work. Look at this. What makes a perfect meringue is having the sugar dissolve, which just means you're going to add the sugar in really slowly while mixing, and you're going to keep mixing until it's dissolved. I'll show you how to test this out, but doing this little step makes all the difference. My egg whites are nice and frothed up, so I'm gonna increase to high speed while I grab about a teaspoon of sugar and let's let it gently drizzle in. Imagine it's like the barest little bit of rain falling. That's what it should be like. Not dumping all the sugar in at once. Ooh, and by the way, if it's a dark and stormy, rainy day, don't make this. This is best for a drier day. You can make it work, but the best meringues happen in low humidity. So just take your time, add it in slowly. This gives more time for the sugar to dissolve in the egg whites. And by doing this, we'll end up with a really, really glossy, thick, marshmallowy meringue. A little bit of patience goes a long way. Today we're making meringue cookies, but you would use this technique to make any kind of French meringue. So you could have this topping a lemon pie. I have a s'mores cake that's topped with meringue that's torched. Really nice. Or if you're making a baked Alaska, also topped with meringue. Meringues are really versatile. You can bake them, you can torch them, you can enjoy them raw, and they're delicious. If you don't like the idea of eating raw eggs, you can pasteurize your eggs really easily just to make sure there's no bacteria on the surface. You can look up the process online, but it only takes a few minutes and it gives you a little bit of extra peace of mind. These meringue cookies are so delicious and light, and they're beautiful. They look so pretty, and I'll show you a few different ways to pipe them. You can enjoy them plain, you can dip them in chocolate, you can have other like mix-ins that are stuck to them, or you can incorporate them into other desserts. If you're making an eaten mess, you need to have these meringue cookies. They also last up to 2 weeks, so you'll make a big batch and you can enjoy them as you go. Okay, the last bit of sugar is going in right now. And I'm gonna stop the mixer just to show you what's happened here. This is nice and stiff. However, if you look at the surface, it has a lot of little bumps, and if I feel this with my fingers, it's gritty. So I want to let the mixer run for a while longer so all the sugar is dissolved. This has a beautiful stiff peak already because we added the sugar so slowly, but I want to let this mix a while longer. This is also important because the sugar will cause weeping when the meringues are baking, which just isn't great. Like you'll see like oozing coming out. No, that's not what you want. Back to mixing on high, and I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract for flavor. You might think this looks perfect because those peaks are so stiff, but we will be letting this mix for a while longer. Kitchen to kitchen, it'll depend, but it could be up to 10 minutes. While this is mixing up, grab 2 rimmed baking sheets, line them with parchment paper, and you also want at least 1 big piping bag and your favorite star tip. You could use an open star tip or a closed star. I'll show you what both look like, but either works really well. It's also a good idea to scrape the bowl down at least 1 time, just so we know that there's no sugar lurking at the bottom. Look how crazy this is. It's so stiff. If you've ever made a French meringue and been kind of disappointed, I guarantee it's because the sugar was added too quickly or it just wasn't mixed long enough. And no, I cannot imagine making this before machinery. Like, by hand, what a nightmare. Okay, back to mixing. This has the look of some graininess, but when I take a little bit in my fingers and rub together, it feels totally smooth. That tells me I'm ready to pipe. So grab your piping bags and your piping tip, and let's get to work. Beautiful stiff peak still though. That's nice. Today I'm using 2 piping tips, but if you're doing this at home, you're probably just using the 1. My favorite open star tip, in case you're wondering, is an 869. So good. To anchor the paper down, just a little bit of meringue dabbed onto the corners will help. This just glues the paper so that when you're piping, it stays fixed. First off, the closed star tip. This is an 846. You're gonna hover your piping tip just above the surface, squeeze, and then I like the look of the ripples, but you can go straight up if you want to. Like that. So pretty. And of course, if you wanted to, you could have added a drop of food coloring for color, or if you want color and flavor added to your meringue, you could have added some powdered freeze-dried berries. They sell freeze-dried berries at the supermarket, but you can just buy them and pulse them in your food processor and sift them out. When I'm done and I'm pulling up, I'm not pressing anymore. I stopped, I'm just pulling up. Hover, squeeze, slowly come up, and then stop. Dollops are the traditional shape, but you could pipe bars or swirls too, or little wreaths. Also pretty. Last one. Very cute. Now the open star gives you that really traditional look in my opinion. So hover, squeeze, and then pull up and stop squeezing. My meringue cookies are ready to go into the oven. They look beautiful now, and they will look exactly the same later, just less shiny. They'll be matte, and you'll know they're ready because they lift up easily, and they'll be very light and dry to the touch. They're gonna bake for 1 hour at 200 degrees, and then you will leave them in the oven with the oven turned off and the door closed for an additional hour or two until they're completely dried out. Your meringue cookies will keep for 2 weeks. Just make sure you're storing them in a dry, airtight container. Moisture is the enemy. Once they've baked and cooled, your little meringues should look perfect. You can enjoy them as is, or you can decorate as desired. Dipping in darker white chocolate is always a good choice. Just a bit on the base for some added richness if desired. And just like that, your meringue cookies are ready to enjoy. They're light as air, perfectly crisp, deliciously sweet, and just about perfect. I hope you get a chance to make this easy recipe, and if you like my videos, hit that subscribe button and check out my French playlist.